Well, hello there, Elder Scrolls fans. It is Duragon Darko once again with another build. I'm gonna show you real quick. Spell power 4110, then it comes down. That spell power gets to 4110 because I'm rocking Julianos and Burning Spellweave. I will show you um, after the DPS test. Um, I'm also rolling a Mullikenna one-piece helmet, which gives me the extra 124. But 4110 with a 53% critical. Molten Armaments, Flames of Oblivion, and then that's the rotation. Difficult to follow through or follow up with the commentary, but again, Standard of Mind is the one you're going to be using. I explain in the video how I go through the rotation, what I'm actually doing. Does a lot of damage. I think on this run I ran 26 grand a second. Again, I'm not gold in everything, but this is an easy 35 to 35k rotation for a bunch of gear that you can get, drops and crafted. I'm not running a Maelstrom, staff or anything. I'm not really that off balance that keeps on hitting and proccing. I'm not running any of that. I'm just running the gear that you can pick up regularly, and 35k a second is not too shabby. So if you look, it's a lot of DOTs, swapping bars, burning embers, then heavy attacks, and then I did Flames of Oblivion, then heavy attack and rearming trap, burning embers again, redo the blockade of storms, that off balance, that's free power lash, right? Sustainability, free power lash. Go back into burning embers, then put on. There you go. So big rotation, but a lot of fun. Is that heavy attack and go right back into that off balance, that flame lash. Very fun build. I don't think it's as fun as the red mountain stuff on the stamina, but I like the fact that I can just swap out some chain points and tank. So I'm gonna let this go. Once again, it's Duragon Darko, and I'm gonna let the original commentary take over. Yeah, 26 grand a second. So enjoy the original commentary, guys. There you have it. So 26 grand a second. 26 grand a second on a Magicka DK. So I'm gonna really quickly run through the rotation, run through the gear, run through everything that I do. It's not an optimal build. 26 grand is actually a little low. So you'll actually see why. Inventory. So I'm not even rocking a golded lightning staff, purple lightning staff, but it's infused, right? Julianos, infused, increases weapon enchantment by 25%, and then it's weapon damage. So that gives you an extra 400, right? Every 5 seconds. So my backup hand is the Infernal Staff. That is gold. Deals 4,000 flame damage. That's infused as well, right? 30% and reduces enchantment cooldown by 50. And again, that's Julianos again. So this way, when you swap, you always have that Julianos 5-piece set, right? That 5-piece right there adds 295 spell damage. Chest is Julianos, should be heavy. Then shoulders, I am not gold, right? So again, that's part of that build I was talking about. It should be 30k a second you get out of the Magicka DK. Like I said, 26 is pretty good. I think the max I've ever gotten was 27, but 30, 31 you can easily get with this setup, So purple Juliano shoulders, then I got golded legs and golded shoes, and again, they're all divines. Second set is the Burning Spellweave set, right? And if you're not familiar with the set comes out of City of Ash 1 and 2. When you deal damage with flame and damage ability, you have 15% chance to apply burning status effect. So it's an extra 513 for 8 seconds. So burning spell, and again, jewelry is not gold, so that is an opportunity right there. That's more damage you can be doing, but it's all spell damage enchantment 160, spell damage enchantment 160, spell damage enchantment 160. Sorry, it's all arcane for extra maxima, for extra magicka. What people don't realize is that this right here, the 5-piece, you have a 15% chance to apply burning status effect. You really don't, because you're rocking the destral staves on both bars. It's 100% chance. You will always apply the burning status effect. So for 8 seconds, every 12 seconds. So every 12 seconds, you will be applying this extra 513 spell power for 8 seconds. So your downtime is only 4 seconds out of every 12. So, but again, because of the destral staff, it's 100%, right? Not 15% chance, but a 100% chance to apply. And then as far as head, I have a one-piece monster helm. Again, this isn't gold either, opportunity. But I do Magicka, and it gives me 124 weapon damage and 124 spell damage, right? So that adds to that spell. Who cares about the second piece? I just want that spell damage. So there it is. It's Julianos, it's Burning Spell Weave, and it's that one-piece Magicka's. Again, a lot of opportunity. The head isn't gold, the shoulders aren't gold, none of the jewelry's gold. I can definitely see 31, 32k a second with this, and it's not even, you know, you don't even have a Maelstrom staff and all that other stuff. You know, you can definitely pull a decent amount of damage. So 26 is pretty good. Like I showed, I think max I've ever gotten was 27 a second. But so that's the gear. Let's go into skills and what I was using. So I know you saw me do Molten Armament, right? 20% spell damage, and then my own fully charged heavy attacks is 40%. So I do run some heavy attacks in between here to get Magicka. You have to. 40% to that damage, to that heavy attack is pretty nice. But again, that spell damage 20%. So I run that. So first I hit that Molten Armaments, then I hit the Flames of Oblivion, right? Every 15 seconds, for every 5 seconds for 15 seconds, it hits you for 67, 67, and it also increases that spell and weapon critical rating, right, by 2191. So I hit Molten Armaments, hit Flames of Oblivion, and then Rearming Trap, right? Doesn't do a lot of damage in Magicka form, doesn't do any damage, right? 3165 over 6 seconds. What you really want it for is Minor Force, which increases your critical damage done by 10%. And then it resets once the trap is done with. So it literally, for 6 seconds, and then it'll trap again for another 6 seconds. That's 12 seconds of critical damage, 10%. Right? It's a must have. And then right from there, I hit up Burning Embers, which is an insane damage over time. Does 4,700 flame damage, and then an additional 16,488 over 10 seconds, and it heals you, which is sustainability, right? On this bar, I do have Flame Lash, which I don't kick off the rotation, and then I do have Fiery Rage, and the only reason I have that is to fulfill the passive for the Destruction Fire Staff. This is my Fire Staff side, all right? So that Fiery Rage gives me the prerequisite for the Destruction Staff passive, and I'll explain that. So this is the second bar. This is the Lightning Staff, and so it's Eruption, right, which gives you that 48 flame damage, but 1200 flame damage every 1 second for 18 seconds. Then you get an Engulfing Flames, which is 2300, but then an additional 10,800 over 10 seconds, and any affected enemy takes 10% more flame damage, right? And then that Blockade of Storms. Slam your staff down to create a storm barrier, 2100 every 1 second for only 8 seconds, but it sets them concussed and off balance for 4 seconds, right? That is most important for your Flame Whip, the Flame Lash. Inner Light, right, gives you that extra Magicka while it's slotted, 5%, but it also increases your spell critical rating, excuse me. And then I use Elemental Drain in here. This is an option slot. I like it because it reduces their spell resistance, right, with Major Breach for 24 seconds, which is a lot, but it also gives me Magicka Steel, right, 300 every 1 second when damaging them, right? So that's pretty much 300 free Magicka every 1 second. And then I use Standard and Might, right? This is the one you're going to be using. This isn't for a passive. This Blockade of Storms fulfills the passive for the Lightning Staff, and I'll explain that. So going back into skills again, you hit Molten Armaments, you hit Flames of Oblivion, you go Rearming Trap, and then it's Light Attack, Burning Embers, Weapon Swap, Light Attack, Eruption, Light Attack, Engulfing Flames, Light Attack, Blockade of Storms, Light Attack, Elemental Drain, and then you go right back into here, and Concussed should be active, which you saw, and then you hit Flame Lash real quick, which will turn into Power Lash. And so I didn't go over it before, but I'll go over it now. If you strike an enemy that is immobile or stunned, so that means either they're going to be in that lightning blockade of storms and they're going to be stunned or concussed, or they're going to be trapped with that rearming trap. So you set them off balance. Once you set them off balance, targeting an off balance enemy changes this ability into Power Lash, allowing you to lash an enemy with more intense flame to deal 10,900 flame damage, stun a monster for 2 seconds, and then heal you for 14 grand. What it doesn't tell you is that when it turns into Power Lash, it is free. This is the Magicka DK's bread and butter. Once that's free, you spam the shit out of it. There's no other way to say it but to spam it, right? I spam this, and in between the spams, I don't even light attack because it's free. I don't even light attack, but I will light attack in between and real quick hit Burning Embers and then go right back to Flame Lash if it's still up. If not, light attack, hit Burning Embers, right? And then light attack, make sure that Rearming Trap and Molten Armaments are up, and you saw the buff timers. You need the buff timers. If they are, and Flame Lash is done, reapply your Flames of Oblivion, go right back in, and start with Blockade of Storms this time because it's a shorter one. Remember, Eruption's already going to be up for 18 seconds. Engulfing Flames is up for 10 seconds, which is 2 seconds longer than Blockade of Storms. So I will Flame Lash until I see Blockade of Storms run out. And then I'll flip it, Light Attack, Blockade of Storms, Light Attack, Engulfing Flames, Light Attack, Eruption, Light Attack, Elemental Drain, and then right back into over here, Flame Lash, Light Attack, Burning Embers, Light Attack, Flames of Oblivion, and then Flame Lash until Blockade of Storms is up. And obviously in between there, you're always looking at your buff timers because you're going to have to Light Attack, Rearming Trap, or Light Attack, Molten Armaments in between there to keep those up. And then you go right back, and then again you always start with Blockade of Storms because it's the shortest one. Blockade of Storms, Light Attack, Engulfing Flames, Light Attack, Eruption, and then Light Attack, Elemental Drain, and then go right into it. If you are into your buff timers a lot and you can actually pay attention to all of it, sometimes you don't even need to hit Eruption again, or Magicka this Elemental Drain again, because this one's up for 24 seconds. That's technically like 3 weapon swaps. And this one's 2. Eruption is 2, so you can skip it and go back and forth. And sometimes when I hit this Blockade of Storms and then I hit Engulfing Flames, I'll see on the screen, and you saw it before, I'll see on the screen it'll say immobile, which means that something trapped it, either the Rearming Trap or the concussion. I'll skip that Eruption and really quick run right back to Flame Lash because that's that free lash. It's bang, 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 bang. So much damage. So it's really, really involved. It's not as easy as stamina, I'll tell you that. Really involved, but very fun to do. So those are all the skills. All right, so let me go over these passes, which is what I was trying to tell you. I think everybody understands the DK passes, but I'm going to go into this Destruction Staff passes so everyone understands what I'm talking about. So the Trifocus, right? This Trifocus, you fully charge flame heavy attacks deal 12% additional damage. So remember, you're going to do the 40% additional damage of Molten Armaments for heavy attacks, and then you're going to be doing an additional 12%. All right, and remember, I will heavy attack for a rearming trap, and heavy attack for a Molten Armaments, or heavy attack for Flames of Oblivion. But I will light attack everything else. So I light attack, Burning Embers. I light attack Eruption. I light attack a bunch of stuff. But I will weave heavy attacks into those 3, and it does a considerable amount of damage. So, shock heavy attacks damage nearby enemies for 129% of the damage done, right? And then we all know about the Frost Staff and the taunting. So if you don't, and you're a Warden, you can tank with a Frost Staff. So there it is. Alright, so Penetrating Magic, we all know. Elemental Force, there's that passive. It increases your chance to apply the Burning,
concussion and chilled status effects by 100% while you have a destruction staff equipped. So for burning spell weave, it's 100% chance, not 15 like the 5P set says. It's 100% chance. For concussion, like having a chance to hit concussion, right? There is no chance. It's 100%. Once you put on that Blockade of Storms, they're concussed, they will be stunned, you can hit them and set them off balance. So, Ancient Knowledge. So, grants bonus effects based on your staff type while you have a Destruction Staff ability slotted. So, Flame Staff increases your damage done with single target abilities by 8%. That is why the ultimate on the that's why the ultimate on the flame bar is the Destruction Staff ultimate, because that Flame Staff on there now increases my damage done with single target abilities by 8%. So single target ability, guess what, is that Burning Embers, is that Flames of Oblivion, is that Rearming Trap, is that Flame Lash. Those are all single target abilities. So I increase every single one of those by 8% because the Flame Staff is equipped on this side, and I have that Destruction Staff ultimate on that skill bar. Alright, so on the back bar is the Lightning Staff. So if you look, Lightning Staff increases your damage done with area of effect abilities by 8%. So Eruption is an area of effect ability, right? Engulfing Flames is an area of effect ability. Blockade of Storms is an area of effect ability. So all three of those are an area of effect ability. You see Standard of Might on there? That is an area of effect ability. So that's an extra 8% to your Standard of Might. And that's all because that Lightning Staff, the Blockade of Storms, fulfills the Lightning Staff bar, right? It's on the bar for a reason. That increases all my area effect attacks by 8%. So, and then Frost Staff again, you know, Wardens out there, you know, you guys can tank with a Frost Staff. So, and then of course, you know, Destruction Expert, you need that. But again, those passives right there for those destruction, that's why you dual Destruction Staff. So many people tell me, well, you can, you know, run a dual wield on one, and no, you're losing so much damage. This is Destruction Staff. It's so many passives in there, so many crazy things. And then y'all know the light armors and what you need. You know, I didn't mention this before. I run Elemental Drain for that physical resistance, but in a dungeon, dude, you can definitely put Harness Magicka in there. Surround yourself with a net of magic negation to absorb up to 13,000 damage over 6 seconds while active. Up to 3 times when spell damage is absorbed, you restore 1,200 Magicka. So you can restore up to 3,600 Magicka, protect yourself for 13 grand. That's the Harness Magicka for dungeons is the one you want to do. The Elemental Drain is the one I do for DPS checks, or if they're really, you know, if we really need it for a boss or something. But that's you know, it should be Harness Magicka. So, all right, champion points. So everybody should know. We'll go to the Browns for. Everyone should know Ironclad. You know, 51. It's 19% damage reduction against direct attacks. Spell Shield, 4,000 spell resistance. That's 51. Come down to here. Thick Skin is 23 for a 10% reduction, and then both Elemental Defender and Hardy are 43, and that gives you a 10% protection in Flame, Frost, Shock, Magic, and in this one, Physical, Poison, Disease. And then I do have 19 in Light Armor Focus, which gives me 1,800 in Physical Resistance. Nothing in the Lord. Alright, so in the Tower, Warlord, 15% reduction in Break Free. Kind of need that. 75 in Arcanist. Increases your magic recovery by 14%. And 75 in Tenacity. Which is another 14% in your fully charged heavy attacks, restoring your Magicka, right? And stamina. So, and then 37 in Tumbling, so I can get the hell out of the way, right? And then I had an extra 6, and I put the 6 in block cost. So, all right. So the Mage, 56 in Elfborn, which gives me 20% increase in my critical damage for magic abilities. 43 in Elemental Expert, which is 10% damage increase for Flame, Frost, Shock, and Magic, right? And then Spell Erosion, which is my spell penetration, that's 3,100, right? 3,117. So there's 36 in that. I only have 20 in Master at Arms, which is all I need. 9% increase with all directed damage attacks. So that's that first initial hit, that 9% extra. And then 75 in Thaumaturge. And obviously, for obvious reasons, everything we do is damage over time. 23.4%. And that gives us... You want 75? I know you're going to, lose that 0.40%, but you want 75 for Exploiter, right? Unlocked at Ritual rank 75. Increases your damage done against off-balance enemies by 10%. That's, that's your whip. 10% of your whip. So, yeah, that's key. So, alright. And that is pretty much it, guys. Again, this Magicka Dragonknight. Magicka Dragonknight DPS. I treat it like a mage. I run dual staves, right? It's pretty much the build, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, it's Duragon Darko. I hope you enjoyed it. Any other requests, any other things? I mean, I don't really have any other tunes. But I mean, if you're looking for something specific, if you want me to run something specific and show you how I tank it, I think that's all that's left to do on this tune. I mean, if you really want me to start leveling up some other tunes, I can. And see where I take it from there. But, until then, I appreciate the subscriptions. I appreciate the comments. I really do enjoy doing the videos. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you get a little bit of knowledge. You can copy it right off, or you can be like me and piece together a bunch of different vids, I think for this one I pieced together like dots and Outcast and some other. I think I took Outcast's champion point setup maybe, and then I took Dots, I think some of his gear, I don't know. I think Dots was running Valkyries, but they're all really, really great guys, and they have a ton of subscriptions. I mean, they know what the hell they're doing. So, but again, I appreciate you guys taking a look at the vid. Thank you very much. You guys have a good night, man.